My dear scholars, the concept of mass production from the factories, the concept of departmental stores for retailing, and of course, mail order retailing, along with the departmental store retailing, gives the idea of mass marketing. So remember, on one hand, management of people and management of worker and management of labor, those challenges were brought up. On the other hand, management of technology was being taken care of. And the third aspect now is becoming the management of goods. How they are going to affect the society. So there has to be some relationship between the business and its profitability and the society and the social effects and the effects on the people. And that's where we would like to see, remember the name Tata which came up? We would like to see how Mr. Jamshed Tata introduced the concepts of management in his factories in subcontinent. So these were the people I would call, let's call them patriotic people in Europe, in Germany, in France, in Britain, or in Bombay, or in India, or even in Pakistan. Always you'll find patriotic people who will care about the wealth of nation as compared to wealth of individual. Acha, wealth of individual or interest of individual or self-interest of the business people, you will find many. I'll give you one example even in this module, that how Mr. J.P. Morgan helped to rescue the American government in the 18th century or the 19th century. And naturally, if Mr. Morgan helped the American government, don't you think he will have more influence in the American government? Definitely. The one who will give you loan will sometime dictate the policies. That's the rule of the business. So we're talking here those patriotic people who gives more importance to the creation of wealth for the nation rather than creation of wealth for the individual. Again, it's not a question of right or wrong. One is that how do you care about the whole nation, the whole society, the collective interest. And on the other hand, you will have people who have the self-interest. So, in other words, some scholars, management scholars, they were in the favor of implementing those policies which will come from the government supervision, so that you will have the public enterprises. And even the merchant operation or the business operations in certain parts of the countries were being also taken care of by the government. One example is the China. Sometimes you call them socialist countries or the communist countries or those countries which followed the philosophy of the social philosopher Karl Marx, who said that the management of workers and the interest of workers will always be in conflict with the interest of the capitalist. But anyhow, as I mentioned, we are looking at those people who would help the nations and the states and the society. And naturally, that will be more beneficial for the middle class, lower middle class, poor people, and of course, for the affluent people. Here comes the example of Mr. Jamshed Nasrwanji Tata, a Parsi businessman who put up his factory to begin with steel factory. Remember, in the 18th and 19th century, steel was very important. It was required for automotives, it was required for machines, it was required to making automobiles, everything. Railroads, trucks, you name it. So steel was one of the very important business in those days. Mr. Tata, the first Tata. Now I think it's the third or fourth generation who are running the Tata Group of Industries. But I think you will be surprised and you will be pleased to see that how those people who care about the wealth of nation come up with good ideas and the nice ideas. How to manage the people. Mr. Tata spent several years in Great Britain and he learned from the factories of northern England how the management of labor and management of machine and management technology was being done. He came back and after returning to India, he set up business ventures which actually form the core of today's Tata Groups. And those businesses focused, besides his own personal earning by Mr. Tata and his family, they regarded the interest of the shareholders, that this is also our interest. Now, shareholders could be workers, shareholders could be investors. But the people besides the Tata family, they thought that their interests should also be taken care of. He considered health and welfare of the employees as a foundation of business prosperity. I repeat, मेरी बिजनेस को प्रॉस्पर करने के लिए, प्रॉफिटेबल होने के लिए जरूरी है कि मैं उन लोगों की जो मेरी फैक्ट्री में काम कर रहे हों, उनकी वेलफेयर और उनकी हेल्थ दोनों का ख्याल रखूं. ये 19th सेंचुरी के अंदर आइडियाज कहे जा रहे हैं. और जरा सोचिए, आपके इर्द गिर्द जिन शहरों में आप रहते हैं पाकिस्तान में, कितने लोग हैं, कितने बिजनेसमैन हैं, कितने फैक्ट्री ओनर्स हैं जो इसका ख्याल रखते हैं. मैं सिर्फ एक एग्जांपल देता चलूं. हम पाकिस्तान के अंदर भी ऐसी एग्जांपल्स मौजूद हैं. फैसलाबाद, सितारा ग्रुप ऑफ कंपनीज, द फर्स्ट ओनर ऑफ सितारा, ही प्रोवाइडेड फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट कोल्ड शिकंजवीन टू देयर वर्कर्स इन समर. और वो शिकंजवीन भी नमकीन, मीठी नहीं. एंड यू नो व्हाट ही फाउंड आउट, कि ठंडी नमकीन शिकंजवी ऑपरेटर्स के लिए, वर्कर्स के लिए प्रोवाइड करने से समर में मेरी फैक्ट्री की प्रोडक्टिविटी की आउटपुट 20% इंक्रीज हो गई. तो प्रॉफिट आया कि नहीं? ये है मैनेजमेंट थॉट. दैट्स वेयर यू आर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग टू योर वेल्थ as well as to the welfare of the employees. But anyhow, we were talking about Mr. Tata. He introduced in the 19th century the concept of pension, the concept of sick pay, and the concept of annual holidays. अच्छे लोग दुनिया में हर वक्त मौजूद रहते हैं. My dear students, अस्सलाम वालेकुम.